Imagine a classroom taking a brutally difficult exam. The grades come back, and the top-performing student scores a 30%. The rest of the class scores 20%, 10%, and a flat 0. This chart shows those exact scores. We immediately award the highest honor to the student who hit 30%. But look at the gap between that winning score and the objective standard of the test. By any absolute measure, every single person failed. We have a deep psychological tendency to measure our progress against our immediate surroundings. We look left, we look right, and as long as we are a few steps ahead of our peers, or even just slightly better than who we were yesterday, we feel a sense of achievement. Relying on relative measurement creates a dangerous illusion. It tricks your brain into thinking you've won, breeding extreme complacency simply because you managed to clear a baseline of failure. The operational danger of this mindset is immediate. The exact moment you achieve the status of being better than yesterday, your internal drive for continuity completely shuts down. We start building monuments around these tiny early strides. We mistake a single step forward for the ultimate finish line, throwing our hands up in celebration when the race has barely started. How do we escape this? How do we break a default cultural programming that naturally pulls us towards celebrating mediocrity? You have to completely override your relative environment with an absolute, uncompromising metric. That metric is what we call a vision. Vision is not a mystical daydream. It is a rigid, mechanical tool, a benchmark of an ultimate future that entirely ignores your current circumstances. To see how this works mechanically, look at the psychology of elite athletic training, specifically how coaches prepare runners for the 100-meter sprint. This schematic shows a standard running track. Elite coaches do not train their sprinters to run 100 meters. They intentionally program their athletes' minds to run 150 meters. As the runner crosses that 100-meter line, their brain still calculates that they have 50 meters left. That mental projection effectively bypasses the biological trigger that tells the body it's time to slow down. A massive vision acts exactly like that 150-meter mark. Passing a normal milestone no longer triggers a desire to rest. Instead, it provokes a continuous, unyielding momentum. Maintaining a massive vision over years requires a specific strategy. There is an ancient piece of advice that says to simply write the vision down. Documenting your vision early in the journey captures the pure signal of your ambition. It locks in your true target before the inevitable noise, money, or fame of early success can warp your perspective. Once documented, this written baseline ceases to be a passive goal. It transforms into a ruthless, operational filtering system for your daily decisions. It gives you the legitimate authority to say no. You can turn down highly attractive, profitable opportunities that would otherwise fill your calendar with dead-end distractions. A pure written vision protects your future by turning every complex opportunity into a simple binary question. Does this serve the absolute benchmark, or does it not? There is a counterintuitive truth about human ambition. Success, when it exceeds your initial expectations and is left unmanaged, actually becomes a severe burden. In the early stages of achievement, success acts primarily as a psychological healing tool. It proves to your peers and to yourself that you aren't a failure. But once proven, the psychological reward expires. Without a deeper vision, maintaining success becomes a chore. The achievement turns cancerous, weighing you down. Without an infinite vision pushing you forward, the psychological thrill of winning disappears. You are left entirely crushed by the pressure of maintaining a status quo you no longer care about. Apple Corporation in the early 1990s actively avoided this trap. In a rare 1992 leadership training session with his core executives, Steve Jobs laid out his operating philosophy. Jobs deliberately refused to anchor the company's vision to a finite, achievable goal like selling computers. He opted instead for an infinite vision, making life better for people. Separating the ultimate vision from the immediate product guarantees continuity. When one gadget inevitably becomes obsolete, the underlying momentum simply transfers directly to the next invention. True vision is designed to provoke a healthy, perpetual dissatisfaction with the present moment. Having an absolute vision ensures you will never mistake a temporary milestone for the finish line. It forces you to keep running until the work of your life is truly complete.